Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go over the trades for March 12th and then the holdings that are dated for the morning of March 13th. Here for the trades, what I've done the last few times is I will only go over the closed transaction here on the trades and then the overall totals, and then we will see on the holdings tab the ones that we added to or the ones that were new. This just saves a lot of time to keep from possibly doing duplicate efforts, but y'all just let me know if y'all prefer this way or if you'd prefer me to go back and go over them. I have tried to shrink some of these columns so I could zoom in more so you could see them, and then also you can take you a screenshot or whatever. But first here, we'll just go down the trades until we see a closed one. So we have AIYY. They brought in 142,000 today. AMDY paid out 27K today. No trades for AMZ. Aptly brought in 43K. No trades for Coney. No trades for Dizzo. For Phoebe, FBY, they brought in 80,000. GUI ended up having to pay out 3.3 million to roll their synthetic from with the expiration date of this Friday to March 17th. So you can see here the strike price was 150 and it expired this Friday, and Google is only at 138.50 at close today. So you can see it ended up costing them over 2.2 million just for that one, and then they rolled it in. That call and put there ended up costing another million, and you can see that those right there were new. But like I said, those total trades cost $3.3 million for GUI. So we're going to move on down. JPMO, negative a K, no trade for Murney. MSFO, we ended up closing out the synthetic that expired this Friday. Excuse me, so we didn't close it out. We rolled the synthetic. However, I do see it has a different strike price from 420 to 415, and it will expire now on May 17th. And so total, they end up paying out 774,000. If we move on to Misty, they ended up adding to, okay, so no close, sorry. So anyway, they ended up trading, cost was a negative 2.75 million. No trades for Nefli or Nvidia. We get to OARC. They ended up paying out 2,000. PayPal closed its synthetic position that was going to expire this Friday. Again, I guess it's a habit. They rolled that synthetic to May 17th. And to do that and to open at the short call, it cost them $92,000. Squee had no trades. Tesla, they ended up closing out 1,000 contracts. I don't know if that's what they had left. If you give me 1 second, I will look so I'm not swapping screens. I know I'm going down the list before I would go back and forth through them. Oh no. So that closeout was just because somebody, people sold out of the fund. So they had to sell some things. They still have plenty there. So they just did 1,000 shares. So that ended up only costing them 4.1 million. And then let's see, Zomo, no closeouts, but they ended up paying out 32K. And then Alti's on its own special video. So we're going to move over here, and this is where we will see most of our trades. Sorry, I wasn't already at the top. So if we look over here, AIYY, closed at $15.87. AI closed at $30.68. We have 4 short calls here. Strike prices $31.50, $32.50, $33, and $33.50. So you can see we're roughly 80 cents away from the first one and $2.82 away from the max short call there. And I know I fixed this multiple times. I keep having issues with changing things in Google. And then them changing back. So the net assets are incorrect right here. It looked like it was correct right below it. So hopefully they will be correct there. As we go down, should you want to look at them? Let's see if I can hide this column. Well, let's see. I think I'd hid them before. Move them over there. That'll give us a little bit more room here. But anyway, you can see that $31.50 strike price was new, and then they added to the existing synthetic. If we go on down to AMDY, AMD it closed at $22.62. AMD closed at $202.76. We have 2 short calls here. Added to the $212.50 strike price. We're roughly $10 from that one. And then we also have a $225 strike price, and we are $22.24 away from that one. So we're going to move on to AMZ closed at $22.63. Amazon closed at $175.39. There are 2 short calls here. Looks like we had no transactions today. But we have the strike price of $177.50, so roughly $2 from that one. Then we have a $180, and we're $4.61 from there. We move on to Apple. It closed at $16.95. Apple closed at $173.23. We have 2 short calls. And so this is wrong. I think the problem is I'm changing data after I've already done paste values. And when I fix things, the other things don't fix because there's no formulas anymore. Okay, sorry about that. Which means also, this is wrong. So I'm just going to do that. So of the $172.50, we're actually over that one by about 75 cents. So it shows that it would cost us roughly $563,000 to close that one. Then we have the $175 strike price, and we're roughly, we're about $1.78 from that one. You can see here that they ended up adding to this short call today. We go on to Coney. Coney closed at $27.65. Coin at $256.14. We have 1 short call with a strike price of $295, which is $38.86. We move on to Dizzo. It closed at $21.52. Disney closed at $112.46. And then they have short calls, strike prices of $113, 54 cents away, and $115, which is $2.54 away. And then the synthetic, I don't know if I missed one above, but the synthetic positions expire Friday here. Of course, we are above that strike price now. We weren't before because we were down in like 105. But somehow we've made it up here above it. Yep, so those are looking positive now to close those out. We'll move on to to Phoebe FBY. They closed at $23. Meta's price is $499.75. Let's see, we got 2 short calls that expire Friday, $510 and $520. So we're $10 and $20 away from those 2. And that, let's see if I can highlight the rows. So this one was actually new. Oh, and they also opened up a new synthetic at a $5.15 straight price. They put 50 shares in those two. So if we go on to GUI, it closed at $16.42. Alphabet closed at $138.50. There's one short call that expires Friday for $141, and we are $2.50 from there. And you can see on the right, we must have, because it says new, if you look on the right for here for a synthetic, they must have closed out, they must have rolled their previous synthetic into the May 17th expiration with the $135 strike price. So if we move on to JPMO, they closed at $21.16. JPM closed at $189.84. We have two short calls that expire Friday, $1.90, in which we're only 16 cents from, and $1.92.50, which were $2.66. You can see here we added to the $192.50 short call and the synthetic with today's trades. So then we have Murney. It closed at $20.69. Moderna closed at $110.43. We have our synthetic that closes Friday. It's got a strike price of $105, so we are above that, so that's good. And then our short call has a strike price of $102. So it shows it would cost $1.8 million if we'd have closed out that short call today. Maybe we got a couple of days, right? So then we have MSFO closed at $22.20. Microsoft closed at $415.28. We have two short calls here. One of them is new with a strike price of $420, and then we have $417.50. So we're about $2.22 away from that one, and $4.72 away from our new short call there. And of course you see where they added to the synthetic. If we move on to Misty, I didn't even hear it until the interview tonight, but it jumped to $37 today, so it closed at $37.12. MicroStrategy closed at $1,593. And we have three different short calls now. So we have a new one here with a strike price of $1,700, so we're roughly $100 from there. Then we have where most of our contracts are sitting is $1,620, so we're roughly $30 from there. Then we have two contracts sitting at $1,900 strike price. And then of course you can see that they added to the synthetic that will expire later this month. So if we move on to Netflix closed at $18.37. Netflix closed at $611.08. We have one short call that expires Friday with a strike price of $6.30. So we are about $19 away from that strike price. And looks like we had no trades for those today. So then we have NVIDIA, which closed at $28.99. Last time I saw it was like $27 yesterday. But anyway, NVIDIA price was at $919.13, and it has three short calls that expire Friday. So we have $940, about $20 from. We have $985, about $65 away. And then we have $1,010, so we're about $90 away from that one. And no trades. So if we go on down to OARC's price is $13.10, close price. ARC closed at $50.25, and there are two strike prices. So we have $51.50, we're $1.25 away from that one. And then we have a 52 strike price, and we're $1.75 away from that one. You can see over here on the right that the strike price of $51.50 was a new short call, and then we added to the synthetics. So if we go on down to pay, the prices it closed at $17.87. PayPal closed at $60.03, and we have two short calls here with the strike prices of 61 and 62, so we're roughly $1 or $2 from those. And then they ended up rolling their synthetic positions to the expiration date of May 17th. And you can see that they added to the 61 strike price for the short call there. So if we move on to SQUE, it closed at 23.77. Block closed at 81.71. We have two short calls for this week, 81 and 82. Man. And at 81 is where most of the contracts are, 3,000, and we're 71 cents above the strike price. And then for the other one, we're 29 cents away from that one. And then we also have the synthetics that expire on Friday as well. The straight price is $80, so we're above that one, so that's looking good. If we move on to Tesla, I don't see trades there. So it closed at 16.21. Tesla 177.54. And then we have two short calls over here, 183.33. So we're almost $6 from that one. And then we have the 187.50, so we're about $10 from that. Then we also have two different synthetics. We have a 185 and the 220. So all we can do is hope that Tesla comes up before Friday. It's hard to... we do that and the two at the top, just all of that. So 2.5, 13, 14, what's that, 138,000, I don't know. I'm too tired to, but anyway, it's a lot of money, right? So then we have Zomo closed at 17.60, Exxon closed at 108.32. We have one short call that expires Friday with a strike price of $110. So we're $1.68 from there. And you can see we added to the short call and the synthetic today. So for YMAG, we closed at $20.77. And YMAX, we closed at $21.87. And don't forget that the distribution announcement for these is in the morning. I think that's a wrap for me. I'm sure there's more that I wanted to put out for the interview or something. I know I put some things out in the Ulti video. One thing I forgot to put out for the YMAX and YMAG in the, going over the estimates and the outstanding shares, as a reminder that the YMAX and YMAG also can do tax harvesting. So they can sell one of the ETFs for a loss, and then what they'll do is they'll turn around and write a cover call on that within the fund to fund, instead of just owning the underlying or the say for example, instead of owning AMSI, they would just sell it for a loss if there was a loss, and then they would turn around and write covered calls on it as if it was the ETF. So either way, all of those are covered that way. So that is one pro to that that I know I haven't reminded people of. And honestly, I don't even know how new people are that come to watch, or what they know and what they don't. And sometimes you take things for granted, but at the same time, we all know there's not enough hours in the day either. So, yep, I think that's it for me this morning. I'm going to get this video uploaded and get some sleep. Happy Declaration Day in the morning, and hope all of y'all were in it or going to buy on next dividend. if you're wanting to. Of course, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a stock guru or anything like that. So just providing some data here, but y'all have a great day tomorrow. Bye.